Hello, my friends. Good Erev Shabbos. Happy Friday, followed by a wonderful, beautiful, uplifting, and inspirational Shabbos Kodesh. This week's Parsha, Parshas Vayechi, marks the death of Yaakov Avinu, our forefather Yaakov, the last of the Avos, the last of our forefathers. But he left his 12 sons, the 12 tribes of Israel. Before leaving them, he gave them instructions how to go on with their lives, how to lead their tribe, and what their personality characteristics show. When he got to Yosef, he called Yosef an ox. An ox. That he had the strength of an ox. Bechor Shoro Hadarlo, the firstborn ox, which is beautiful for him. Strange. An ox represents power, might. It's a very strong animal. But in actuality, Yosef physically was one of the weaker brothers. All the brothers were very, very strong, the Torah tells us. But Yosef was on the weaker end. So why was he called the ox? Because the Torah recognizes another kind of strength. Ezehu Gibor. Who is a strong man? It says in Ethics of the Fathers, Pirkei Avot, Hakovesh es Yitzro. Somebody who conquers his Yetzer Hara, his evil inclination, his base level of living, his instincts. Overcomes the instincts. Yosef was sent down to Egypt as a slave. He was sold by his brothers. He was 17 years old and known to be incredibly handsome. In one of the lewdest countries of the time, living by himself, with women looking at him wherever he went. He became the main servant of a man named Potiphar. His wife, like every other woman in Egypt, took a liking to him. But his wife was also his master or his mistress. And she kept trying to entice him to the point that she tried to seduce him against his will at a time that no one else was in the house. And she grabbed his coat. Yosef withstood the test, so much so that when he escaped, he needed to pull his coat off so he could get away. He was much stronger than her. He could have pulled her hand off of him, but instead he slipped out of his coat, leaving, he knew, a very incriminating piece of evidence behind, but it was worth it not to touch her, and he ran away. Because of that, this woman falsely accused him of attacking her, and she had the coat as evidence, and he was thrown into jail. Later, the brothers come down to Egypt, and the whole story where he pretends to be someone he's not, and then he gives away the secret. He says, I'm Yosef, is my father's still alive. And he tells his brothers, I'm not taking revenge on you. Because you aren't the ones that sent me here, God did. How many times do we see Yosef controlling his inner gut instincts? 17-year-old kid, incredibly handsome, being chased by every woman in Egypt, and being threatened that if you don't give in, I'll make up lies about you, want to have you put in prison. And he did, rather go to prison. What 17-year-old kid would be able to withstand these kind of tests when his family isn't there? When he's in a nation that is known for their immorality? It would be completely acceptable to act in this way. And he didn't. That's inner strength. That's the strong as an ox. That's the Behor Shor Hadolo, the firstborn ox is his beauty. And then when his brothers come down to Egypt, he could have very easily taken revenge. And again, self-control, inner strength. The Torah doesn't recognize so much physical might. Yeah, that's important. To be in shape. But what is called mighty in God's eyes? Ezehu Gibor. Who is a mighty one? Hakovish Yisroel. Someone who controls his inclinations, his natural instinct. Some people call it the animal instinct in us. Think first before doing and be able to choose right and wrong. Don't just react. That was Yosef. But that was the Yosef that showed an example for all of us. The Torah teaches us, don't just give in to your initial instinct. Overcome. Show inner strength. And that's the strength that is chosen above all. Shabbos.